As it so happens, we have finally managed to find an electric ATV that doesn't look like a spaceship. And you gotta see this ATV accessory that you can get for your truck now. Coming up. Hey, do you want to stay up to date on the latest ATV trails, reviews, and news? Obviously you do. So hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss our future videos. Welcome to another episode of your off-road update. My name is Chris, and I have no idea what episode this is. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump in talking about the DRR. Ever heard of them? Neither had I until about a week ago. Now, DRR is actually a company that started back in 2000. They're based out of Ohio, and originally their main vision was to create this ATV for kids, and it has since evolved, and now their machines are designed to be safe, have more features, and be more reliable than the competitors. All right, DRR. I mean, that sounds pretty standard. However, it should be noted that they have won 75 nationally recognized championships between their dirt bikes and ATVs. So they do have something to actually back up this brand that essentially most of us have never heard of, or at least know little about. Okay, now, the reason we're talking about them now is I discovered them in an article discussing electric ATVs, and they've finally managed to create an electric ATV that doesn't look like a freaking spaceship. I mean, it actually looks normal, as you can see here. So what I want to do to talk about the DRR Stealth is to break it up into what I like and what I don't like. And let's start by talking about what I like first. Like I already mentioned, first off, this doesn't look like a spaceship. And I know we've got like the Nikola now, and that doesn't technically look like a spaceship, but it's also $80,000, and it still kind of looks a little bit like a spaceship. So this looks like a normal ATV, and I feel like that is a huge step towards an electric ATV that people will actually not be embarrassed to sit on, quite frankly, because most people that like to ride ATVs don't like to ride Priuses. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. Next, what I really like about this thing, it plugs into the wall. And when I mean it plugs into the wall, I mean it plugs into the normal outlet that's already in your garage or on the outside of your home. There's no buying these really fancy giant things or getting converters or having to run 240 or bigger power options. Just a standard outlet is all you need, and that's pretty freaking awesome. All right, so here's the thing on the next one. Don't bang me up here, because I'm going somewhere with it. It satisfies environmentalists. That can work in our benefit, because there have been trails that have been shut down due to loud noise and excessive this and that, and everybody whines that, you know, ATVs are bad for the environment and they produce carbon, just like everybody's car that's whining about ATVs that's driving a car to work. I digress, but the point is we can now kind of solve some of those issues with this type of concept, right? So we don't have to worry about shutting down trails because everyone's complaining of machines flying by and huge loud exhausts. Whether you agree or disagree with that, like, we can get rid of that problem, and that's pretty awesome. All right, so moving on to what I don't like about this thing is, first off, you can only get 65 miles on a charge. Now, let me just say up front, that's actually really good, right? This doesn't have some massive battery like the Nikola does. It's, you know, it looks normal. It's a standard size ATV. So 65 miles on a charge is pretty good. I'm not downing them for that. However, if you like to go on long drives, or you like to spend an entire day out on the trails or do long distances, that might not work very well for you. Now, next up is the speed. It only goes 35 miles per hour. So again, not bad. Is that fine for your average trail ride? Yeah, you know, most people aren't cruising down the trail at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. But if you're into big bores or you want that power and you want that speed, this machine is not gonna cut it. So again, it's not bad, but it's not gonna meet a lot of people's expectations. All right, and then just a couple other things to mention on this that aren't really good or bad. It does have double A-arm suspension. It's got shocks with 5 adjustable preload settings. I don't actually know what the suspension of travel is. I couldn't find that anywhere. I can tell you that it has 12 inches of ground clearance. It weighs 469 pounds. So again, kind of, you know, that average for, I don't know if that's average. I mean, what are you comparing it to, I guess? You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, it's better than a 1000, but again, it doesn't hold that kind of power. So I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I mean, 469, it's fine, right? It's not an issue either way. And then as for the MSRP on this, it comes in at $7,000 $500. So my final thoughts are this. Do I think that this is awesome that we've reached this point? Absolutely, I do. I am very open-minded to the electric ATV concept. I just don't think we've produced anything worth actually being beyond funny other than the $80,000 Nikola. Now, I will say, I don't know if this machine is still quite there. I'm super excited about the fact that DRR has created this, that it looks normal, that you can still get 65 miles on this thing on a charge. It plugs into a normal outlet. Like this thing, it's got a lot going for it, and I think that's super exciting. Now, what I would like to see is the next step up, right? Maybe we get that up to 45, 50 miles an hour. Maybe we could stretch that charge to 100 miles. Just a couple things like that, and I know that's asking a lot, right? Like this is still the beginning stages. We are at the beginning stages of the electrical ATV concept. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. Either way, I am really excited about it, and I think it's awesome that DRR has created this, and it looks normal, and they're actually, you know, doing something positive with it. All right, so this is awesome. Next, we're gonna talk about Elongator. And if you haven't heard of them, and you probably haven't, they make tailgates. Now, hear me out. So the other week I was scrolling through Instagram, and you ever go like 8 layers deep? It's like Inception, where like you click an image and then somehow you either click like a tag or a person or something, and you keep like following that wormhole down like 8 layers. So that's what happened to me. Maybe that doesn't happen to you. Maybe I have too much time on my hands, but that's what happened to me. And I came across this video, and we're gonna watch it because it was one of those things I saw, and I was instantly like, how has nobody done this before? I mean, it's awesome. So basically, they make a tailgate, ramps and everything are built in. It's super easy to just like drive your ATV, put the ramps down, drive it up, and then fold the ramps up. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Look at this. Look at how fast it is. I mean, that's crazy. It's built in. That's nuts. Look at that. Just no big deal. Yeah, it's sped up, but it's only 81 seconds. It took him 81 seconds from start to finish. All right, now tell me that isn't awesome. That is awesome. And I got to say up front, by the way, this is not sponsored. This like there's no correlation to the company here. They're not paying for any of this. These look amazing. Like I definitely want one. These things look awesome. So let's break this down a little bit. So first of all, it fully replaces your tailgate, right? It's a total tailgate replacement, and inside so it can unfold, and you've got the ramps inside the tailgate, which is genius because if you are the type of person that ever loads ATVs in the bed of your truck, first of all, you know how much of a pain it can be just to have the ramps, right? Either you have them in the back of your truck all the time, or you keep them in your garage and then you load them up, and then you like try and slide them between the wheels and they're rattling around, or it's not that big of a deal, but it's still a little bit of an annoyance, right? This is so much cleaner, and you've always got them with you. And another feature I really like is the fact that this first layer like unfolds. This is flat, by the way. This is flat. So when it's just a normal tailgate, it's flat. There's no intrusion. You could just use it like normal. But then when you want to take advantage of some of the features, like this, for example, this first layer unfolds, it just extends your truck bed. That's awesome. And in a day and age where so many trucks are 4-door and the actual bed of the truck is shorter, now you could just extend it by like almost 2 feet. I don't know the precise measurement, but it's almost 2 feet longer. That's awesome. And then let's say you go to load your ATV. This thing actually cranks down further, helps to assist the ramp, and the ramps actually lock in. They lock in, so gone are the days where you're like, I gotta try and get these set just right, and then either use tie-down straps or just go for it and hope at the last second that the ramp doesn't shoot out from behind me, and now I'm in the air trying to figure out why I was too lazy to put the straps on. Like, all that's gone. And they are just totally adjustable, so you can move it over, do whatever you want. They lock in, they stick in. This thing is awesome. I mean, it's awesome. Leave a comment down below. Tell me if you would use this or not, for real, because maybe it's just me, but in my mind, I'm like, how is this company, like, how are these not everywhere? I mean, they're awesome. Now, I will say, the one downside, they are expensive. I mean, they start out at like $2,700 to replace your tailgate. And I get it, right? You're getting a full tailgate replacement. You're getting new ramps. You're getting a bed extender. There's a lot of awesomeness going on here. I'm just saying, like, that's a lot of money. So I can see where that would be the issue. But again, overall, leave a comment down below. Would you consider purchasing one of these, or is it just me? Because I think it's freaking awesome. That's good. We're on right now. So our final story of this week's off-road update. It's an awesome story, and quite frankly, it's a feel-good story for ATV riders, and that is this. So in the great state of Wisconsin, which I currently reside, the state leaves it up to local and county governments to decide where ATVs and side-by-sides can ride, which highways and roads and all that they can ride on. So it's not a state law, which is awesome, by the way. So in Sauk County, back in the year of our Lord 2013, they passed an ATV ordinance that allowed approximately 70 miles of open routes for ATVs and side-by-sides. All right, which is great, right? That's awesome. So last year, riders and ATV clubs submitted 41 applications to add additional routes throughout the county, and last week they voted on them, and they voted no on all of them. Here's where it gets good. Committee Chairman David Reek, I hope I'm saying your name right, sir, readdressed the situation, and he stated this: "I'm not so certain we left the public with the best explanation of why the routes weren't approved." First of all, when was the last time you heard a government official say that? So kudos to you, Mr. Reek, for acknowledging that and revisiting the situation. So basically what happened was 41 applications were submitted, and there was some issues with a few of them. Now, instead of just approving some and disapproving some, they like shotgun blasted no on all 41 applications and all the routes. So last week when they revisited the situation, they did the right thing. They didn't just shotgun blast them all no. They looked at them all individually, and they approved 29 of the 41 applications. So like I said, it's just a good news story for riders. It's awesome that the county revisited it. It's awesome that they approved all these extra miles. And I just wanted to make it a point as well to state that this all happened really because of ATV clubs. So consider joining an ATV club or maybe donating a little money or a little time, because these ATV clubs are really fighting for us as riders. And it's awesome that all the trails that are being opened up and everything else, you know, a lot of the credit for all that goes out to ATV riders. So that's all I got. I hope this video was helpful, or I hope you liked it. If you haven't subscribed, you know, hook a brother up and hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you on the trail. About. Man, I'm not Canadian.